Like, what made you want to be an actor, or what made you?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, have you ever seen the movie Get Rich or Die Trying?
Of course.
No, it's
I
not
just
that.
watched it. It's so good.
No, it is good. It's good.
Welcome back to the Podge Pod. It's your boy Podge Prince. Today I'm accompanied by a stand-up comedian, event producer. She does a lot. I'm about to find out more.
Okay,
Let's give it up for Kendra Jamaica.
Jamaica,
Let's go.
yeah, Kenny, Kendra.
Jamaica.
What's going on?
Kenny from the block.
Kenny from the block.
Fine.
I wish it was Kenny from the block, but that Instagram's already used and inactive. I message her twice a year.
Dude,
I message her twice a year.
And they just ignore it.
I don't think they're active.
That's bogus. Yeah, I've been trying to get like my actual name and somebody who doesn't use it also.
What do you mean? Like what actual name?
Like my real name, like Pablo Alejandro. Like just to have, like, I think it would be official.
Like there's an Instagram account with Pablo Alejandro, and it's like an actor?
Some random guy. Yeah.
Oh.
There's no posts. And just to get a little backstory, where are you from? Where are your parents from?
Yeah, so I'm born here. I'm born and raised in Chicago. I say Chicagoland area because you never know who's gonna fight over this. So Chicagoland area. I was born like by Belmont Cragen, and then my parents got divorced, and I moved out by like Franklin Park, O'Hare.
Fire. That's like my area. I grew up in Merrill's Park, and then I moved to North Lake.
Wait, what high school did you go to?
I went to Proviso West.
Okay.
But I always wanted to go to Leiden because
I went to Leiden.
You went to West Leiden?
I went to East Leiden.
Okay.
I went to East Leiden, but I played all the sports at West Leiden and went to West Leiden prom.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to love going to the West Leiden talent shows because there was dancers that were like jerking, like at the time. Like,
yeah,
I don't
like
know
you're
if you
a
remember
jerk.
that.
Yeah. I was just jerking at the club this weekend.
And Proviso, maybe they did have talent shows, but I didn't know about them. And I think it was because there wasn't that many, or I guess there was more Hispanics.
Oh, okay,
There's more Hispanics in West Leiden, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, because Proviso had 3 campuses. You guys had East, West, and the science one.
Yeah, the bougie one, the one you had to apply to. But I was always jealous of Leiden because they had air conditioning, and Proviso didn't have. I don't know if you guys had air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. I feel like it's a necessity. Like
that should be. Yeah, no, that should absolutely.
Hot ass schools.
And the whole building, y'all didn't have it at all.
It was like only the computer room had AC. Maybe to keep the computers.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. Yeah, I always end up finding out more people from the west suburbs.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Like if I say Kittyland, not everybody knows what it means, but you know exactly what it means. Yeah, that rickety ass. And R.I.P.
You know the sign is right next to the library, the public library.
No.
They kept the sign, so you could go look at it.
That's so sweet. Yeah. Costco should have kept the sign.
It's right by Lucky Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, I love being over there too because the Don Alfredo's Canitas over there too. Okay. Anyways, I'm from. Yeah, I was born out there. Went to Leiden, and then I moved back in the city. But my parents are Soy mexicana, but los dos se conocieron en el DF. But my dad is de Cuernavaca y mi mamá de Zacatecas.
Fire.
I know. They were both bank tellers at a banco, and then my dad came and sent for her. Very romantic. So I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. My parents they're no longer together. I have a stepdad and a stepmom. Okay. So a big extended family. I'm the eldest sister, the oldest daughter, immigrant parents. So like the toughest man you'll ever meet. Tu sabes, from like explaining how to apply for schools to kind of. I don't know how to change a tire though. I think eso me falta. But that's not something that TikTok can teach me.
No, yeah, definitely. You can learn everything on TikTok.
Hell yeah.
And then you live in Humboldt now? Or
no,
Logan?
I live in Lakeview, rent controlled apartment. Nice. I've been trying to move. I've been trying to get out to kind of like explore new things. But with this economy, like anywhere I'm looking, I'm paying double for less. And now, I grew up my entire life like in the basement, like. My parents always remodeled the basement, made a room for me, and so like I refuse to live in guarding units now.
Oh yeah.
Because like the flooding in the west suburbs, real. Like by River Grove, I don't know if you like knew like.
No, I don't know. Well.
Did you know Gene and Jude's?
No, yeah. So I live right there. I live by Harlem and Diversity.
Oh, okay.
By the Hip. Like I'm right next to the Hip.
That's where I had my first date.
But I feel like that area is elevated. So like. It kind of, we don't have flooding in that area, but River Grove has flooding because the lake is, or the river is right there.
The river's right there, and River Grove is also a little town where there's more dead people than alive people there.
How do you know that?
A little spooky fact, because I'm also from River Grove.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. They have a big ass cemetery over there. But yeah, you know, But I was saying the hip is where I had my first date. Oh yeah, tú sabes, getting dropped off, walking the food court, in and out of places.
My go-to mall was North Riverside. I don't know why. I guess because I was Proviso and like it's closer.
My go-to mall was fucking ¿cómo se llama? The big ass one with the half floors.
Yorktown?
No, that's the outside mall. Woodfield.
Oh, Woodfield. No, that's the huge one. That was the bougie one.
No, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like they didn't conform to normal ass floors. They didn't have 1, 2, or 3. They had 2.5. They had like the slanted ones, but we never made it out up there. But those were the best ones. But I would spend all my weekends in the city when I was like living out there.
Okay. Yeah. How was you said you went to college? Or you
I went to college. I went to Dominican University, which is not where I wanted to go. I love my mommy. If you're watching this, I love you so much. Pero I ended up getting like a ride, like somewhat of a full ride to go to ISU. I was so excited. I'm a Sagittarius, so like I want to be out of the house. I want to go. I want to do new things. And like when it came down to it, my mom goes, "No, you gotta stay here.
What the?
You gotta stay here. You gotta work. You gotta like help out." And like I didn't go to ISU, and so I went to Dominican University, which is neighboring town to like Monrose Park, which was wonderful. But I was a straight edge kid in high school, so I didn't drink, I didn't smoke.
You got a full ride for sports, or because your grades were that good?
No, sports.
Okay.
But I didn't drink or smoke in high school, and so the moment I hit college,
you got fucked up.
I got fucked up.
And now you're on your sober journey.
And I'm on my sober journey. Yeah. After a decade of living life, I'm on my sober journey.
Was there a lot of like parties like that for Dominican?
Yeah, well, because it's a sports school too. And so like, like the basketball team had a house, the soccer team had a house, and we were just like always there. And then it's like by Madison Street, tú sabes, and like Forest Park. So that was like that's what we did like all the fucking time. And I had a car back then. I was whipping it, living life. I was like in the city at all times, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like going from like, and I'm really happy I didn't drink or smoke in high school.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have like finished.
I smoked in high school.
Oh yeah?
I used to go to school high, and my mom caught me like smoking before school one day.
Did she call it drogas?
I don't know.
My mom did. She's like, "Estás haciendo drogas." And I'm like,
no, yeah, they think it's the worst thing ever. Yeah, and then they, it's because they watch like those novelas that are super like.
Claro. They're ruining your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my first tattoo, 13 in high school, and my mom, she was home. And she's never home because she's always working, and she's such a hard worker. And she's such in a great mood. She's like, "Hola, mi amor, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo es tu día?" And I'm so like guilty. I have a Band-Aid over my tattoo. I'm like, I'm good. I gotta go. I'm pacing in my room downstairs, and I'm like, I gotta tell her. I just gotta get over this. And I go upstairs. I rip the Band-Aid off, literally and metaphorically. and she starts crying. She's like, "You ruined your life. No one's gonna hire you. Like, what are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "No. I'm personable. I have a good personality. People hire me." And now look at this. We're living in an age where doctors have like full sleeves. Like you can do anything. And honestly, like with certifications now.
It's that immigrant mindset. My parents also, they were pissed when I got my ears pierced. And I was grounded for like a couple of weeks or months. I don't remember. But they were pissed. But the tattoos, I think like I was older and they couldn't say anything. Your body, your choice. Yeah.
Not to Latinos though.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I'm the oldest. Yeah, I have a brother, Julian, who's my full-blooded from both parents, and then I have 3 on my dad's side, and then 3 on my mom's side. But in terms of who lives in Chicago, I have a half brother here, Jeremiah. My dad loves the spring. Porque I'm born. Fun fact: I'm born literally 9 months after my mom's birthday. Conceived on her birthday, creo. And then my half brother's born December 14th.
Yeah.
And my half sister is born December 15th. So my dad loves the spring.
That makes sense.
I know.
It's crazy because I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but my baby was born in September. And I guess he would have been conceived around Christmas time, and that's when a bunch of like babies,
Nochebuena.
Because you have a lot of days off. Yeah. You go on vacation and shit.
Yeah. Okay. When's your birthday? No, you're a
May
Taurus.
15,
yeah, May 15.
How do you know I'm a Taurus?
Because I met you before.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I told
Watch me doing research. You said you did research? I did research.
Yeah, I don't know much about zodiacs, but...
Well, from what the energy I'm getting from you, it's very aligned. Very calmado. very the comfy, the cozies. I feel like the earth energy in here, the greens. I love a green.
I love green.
That's my favorite color.
So you felt like your parents made you. Well, okay, so I wanted to say, like, I feel like most comedians, they have like a dark past, or like they have like stuff that they've been like working through, and you work it out on stage and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that also the case for you?
Something like that. So I'm a comedian, but I don't really do too much stand up. So I do a lot of like improv and sketch comedy, which is more so based in acting. So that's where I come. That's what inspires me. That's what I like to do, because también like with improv, it's never the same. It's in that moment what's done. Kind of like when you take portraits of someone, right? Like you're never going to see that same picture again. So that's what happens with improv. Now, absolutely all of us have a dark past, but I think it's kind of unfortunate. And I when I was drinking, like I think I would convince myself that I would need to have like a drink or a shot before I went on stage.
Okay.
And then next thing you know, I was like 2 drinks and then 3 drinks. And then next thing you know, I'm like drunk on stage. And it sucks because like acting and this improv is based in listening. It's a conversation. Like if I'm not hearing what you're saying, then it's very obvious to everyone watching the scene, right? And so like when you're not on and you're not present, like it's such a disservice for everyone in the room. So I think that like we talk about this all the time. Like what we're doing here is not meant for trauma like dumping. You're not just supposed to like give the audience like a bunch of shit and have them sort through it. Like no, they came for a show. Like you're supposed to be polished at what you're doing, or at least aspire to be, tú sabes. But so I run a comedy collective called Escandalo Comedy, and we're the only Latino comedy collective at the IO Theater. We say that the motto of what we do is a comedy show para la cultura. So that means that everyone on the show is Latino top to bottom, with our openers, our guest players, todo. And I like to say that it's like we're showcasing Latina excellence in the city, porque I think especially with everything that's going on right now, like it almost kind of feels like being Latino is criminal, but it's like we're also thriving. Like, but we're not seeing that on the internet. All we're seeing is like the destruction of the Latinidad. And so like I think it's so important to like remind people that like you have to be able to fill your cup. You got to feel joy. If you're out there fighting and just being angry, like you're going to be left depleted, and then what? Like where's the longevity? That's not sustainable, right? And so like I think like now more than ever, like the arts, being present, being in community is like the actual remedy to what is happening, because like we can't we're not gonna turn to the internet and feel better. You know what I mean? Unless your feed is all puppies, in which then I say like go for it. But yeah, to kind of circle back to what you're saying with Escandalo, like we kind of joke because sometimes we'll do like ice sketches, or like we act like La Migra, or we do like paletero bits, and it's like it feels good, because I went to a show the other day and they were saying that like because the education system is being defunded and lacking, you're going to learn a lot about what's going on, you're going to have discourse, you're going to have thoughts about what's going on in our times through art. Because you're going to see it on stage in an environment where you're not being threatened, where you're not like, hey, what's your opinion? Like you're just witnessing. And like that's what I really like to do at Escandalo. Like when people come in, I'm like, all right, everybody, whatever's going on outside, if you got a bounty hunter, if you got a fucking crazy ex, like leave it at the door. Allow yourself to relax, because I think like post-pandemic, legit, post-pandemic, la gente, they need to be reminded to like enjoy themselves. I'm like, hey, what are we gonna do if something's funny? Crickets. I said, laugh, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna laugh. I'm like, yes, guys, we're gonna laugh. If someone is like, if someone is a phenomenal actor and you like the way they dress, what are we gonna do? Crickets. Or we're gonna compliment them. You know what I mean? And so
you think a lot of times your audience is like scared to speak?
I mean, yes, porque the only time they see a call and response in comedy is through crowd work, and they're normally getting made fun of. You know what I mean? Like they're being used as a bit. No one's gonna fucking raise their hands when people are like, hey, where are the couples in the audience? 50-50 chance they're about to roast your ass. You know what I mean? But with improv, like, this is what I love about improv, is that with stand-up, the stand-up world, my stand-up comedians, much love. So competitive, very toxic, right? There's only room for one person at the table. Versus improv is based in community. I can't do this without you.
That makes sense.
And so like, if you're not having a good time, then I'm not having a good time. And so we're just already in a different space and environment. And, you know, improv has been around for a really long time. And actually, I don't know if you knew, but improv started in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, improv started in Chicago with Viola Spolin, who is somebody that was using it as a way to help immigrant children communicate with each other and assimilate with each other. Yeah, because it's a game that's not based on winning. So it's the only game where we're just playing to play.
Yeah.
Like we're not winning, you're not whatever the hell. And so I love talking about it and looking at it that way, because when you look at it that way, then it's like, okay, so what if you said the funniest thing? If you're not listening to what's going on over here, you still look like an asshole. Like period, point blank. And I think that that's what I really like at, you know, what Rudy Mendoza is doing at Bilingual Improv School. It's like it really is a movement, because as of right now, the only way to learn improv, you got to dish out $300 to one of these institutions, and you better have 6 weeks to commit to this.
That's so funny. When I first started the first podcast, I had one with my friends. It was called User Friendly, and it was 4 of us. We would just talk about our days and like maybe react to some clips. But we were like, damn, we really got to get better at speaking. Like, we should have taken improv class. And it was like $300.
It was?
We didn't end up taking it because of the money.
Because why would you?
Right.
And then honestly, like, again, no disrespect to the institutions, but improv is something that you can learn in like 3 or 4 sessions. And then you get your reps in. But they're selling to you that you need to take 6 levels, 3 courses each level. Next thing you're looking at $5,000 in Second City's pocket, and you're still not on a team.
I think what I love so much about yours or Rudy's was that you could practice your Spanish and get better at your Spanish, because you have a lot of like no sabo kids that like want to. And my Spanish is definitely like diminished. Like I don't use it as much, but I should. And it was my first language, so it's like,
porque no lo practicas.
Yeah.
But you understand it.
Sí,
Yeah.
like, for me, it's like a switch. Like I have to turn the switch on to like, But I love how you do it so flawless, and like people that can do both.
It takes practice. Porque
like, I get in my head a lot. Yeah.
I learned it first, but since my parents moved away, like they were the ones that I would practice it with. So then the only people I was practicing with when I was working at the kitchen in like a restaurant were los cocineros. So all of a sudden it's very it's very, slang shit. And my mom, who's like, you better never say parquear in front of her. It's estacionar, And so I remember her being like, ay, why do you sound like that? And I'm like, at least I'm speaking it.
Right.
But now Spanish is so special because it's like, it's always a journey, right? Like now I'm really blessed that a lot of my best friends are Caribbean. So a lot of Dominicans, a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Cubans. So now I'm like, ¿qué es eso? Espumita. That's why you're like café cubano. And it's just like, I don't know, it calls to me, right? And it's Spanish no matter what. But that's what we say at Escandalo all the time too, that it's like, we're here to connect with like all Latinos, regardless if you don't speak the language, regardless if you didn't grow up with it, or if you're not living it now. Because I think oftentimes we think that there's a prerequisite to be like, oh, I deserve to be here. Like, no, as long as you have it like in your blood, you're Latino, point blank.
Yeah.
And I always say, I'm like, and you're welcome with us, unless you voted for Trump.
Do you, just to push back a little, like, do you feel like because you cater to Latinos, you might exclude like another group of people?
Yeah, no. Well, thank you for saying that. I think that I have, and I'll just speak for the comedy community. I have been at this for about like 7-8 years. It's never about reinventing the wheel. And there's no problem with Latinos being the main character at one show out of the 60 in the city.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's other promoters and people out there that like can definitely handle what, and I'm such a big believer, and I'm sure you can attribute to this. People are always going to have criticisms, right? Go build it. Go do it. Like, it's not my job to make everything come to fruition.
Yeah.
But if you see something missing, like I always tell people that are like inspired to go do something, I'm like, you will never go wrong or run out of steam if you're starting something to solve a problem. You know what I mean? Instead of it being something frivolous, like you're just here to like talk farts. Unless we're talking GI facts, and like then it's like no problem. But like, so like I talked to my other Latina producers about this, because they book other Latinos, even though it's other performers, non-Latinos, even though it's like supposed to be based on a Latino show. And I'm like, more power to you. And they're just like, yeah, I just feel like I don't want to exclude anybody. And I'm like, that's very sweet, but like I said, there's never that many spaces, especially in the comedy community, where we're the main characters. So, and that's why I'm really grateful to kind of be branching out with my production company. So, I run
Dama
Production. Yeah, so my middle name is Damaris.
Oh, okay.
So it's Dama Productions, because I feel like Kendra is my stage name, and that's actually my last name, Jamaica, because Jamaica means hibiscus.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Jamaicas in Guanajuato, which I did not know that. So, anyways, so I started Escandalo, and then I went to Chisme, which is a queer Latina variety show, and that's the same thing. I'm never trying to reinvent the wheel. There just needs to be Latina presence in Dorothy's, which was like a lesbian bar in Westtown. We're no longer there, but we're really grateful to them for that opportunity they gave us.
But Chisme is your show? With a partner, right?
Exactly. Okay. My best friend, Spencer Diaz Turo, Cubana, poet, fashionista.
That's awesome.
Beautiful woman. I love her. I love you, Spencer.
So there's Escandalo, Chisme. How
and
many
Lipstick Lounge.
Lipstick Lounge.
Oh, my God. Lipstick Lounge has really, like, turned it up. And, like, as a freelancer, you know what I mean? To, like, finally have something that's, like, a monthly thing where you can cover your expenses. Like, I've been at this for, like, 2 years. I used to work at Soho House, and I feel like that was, like, my last serving job that I had.
Yeah.
And that space, you know, even though it has its flaws, it's still a creative house. You know what I mean? Like, you meet a lot of people there that are just going to be interested in your drive. Not even like the product you're doing, but if you're someone that could get lit up about what you're talking about, people want to talk to you about it, you know? And so, but I left there and I didn't have a plan. I just knew that I couldn't be there anymore. Because one of my old managers gave me a really good piece of advice. She's like, when you no longer want to be at a place, you need to leave then, because you don't want to leave people with a memory of you that's like not who you want to be represented as. You know what I mean? Like my last couple months there, I was like, maybe not the most pleasant to be around. And now that's the version that lives in people's heads, you know? Yeah. So yeah, I've been at this 2 years and like tooth and nail, grinding it out, see what it is. And like,
I think I saw you post yesterday or maybe a few days ago. You also work like other jobs too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how, I guess like, what do you do for your career? So you want to be a production full on? Like you want to do that?
Yeah. So at this point I am production full on.
Okay.
But I actually, I made a post the other day. I'm like, some of y'all have never worked 2 jobs before and it shows. And it's like, again, I'm not trying to glamorize working a lot, you know, right? Because my dream job is not to have a job, you know what I mean? Thanks. But I think for the last 10 years, I've always had 2 jobs.
Multiple.
Yeah. And I think my dad always taught me this. He's like, never put all of your eggs in one basket. And also too, like,
having several streams of income.
Yeah, you know what? That's my dream. Like that's what going into 2026 for me is like. I want to have a tangible product over here. I just want to start generating different incomes because I'm a creative. And if I have to squeeze my money out of my creative projects, it's gonna take my joy out of creating.
Yeah, right? That's what I was wondering. As far as like when you're throwing these events, have you had nights where maybe not that many people show up and you don't even break
even? Come on, yeah.
Okay.
Woo,
so it took a while. Like now you sell out a couple of shows, right?
Yeah. So Escandalo, you know, we've been at this 2 years, and there was definitely some months where like, you know, we just weren't having people. But that's because I saw a direct cause and effect with posting on social media. Like, if you are not putting at least 30 to 40% in your social media game to promote what you are doing, you're leaving a lot of money on the table.
I love that. Literally. So I had an open mic last week. I had asked you to be on it. I think you were busy. I don't know if you remember. But I was just like, I wasn't going to promote it past, because it wasn't even my event to promote. These 2 people came to want to host it, and we obviously have the space for it. But I was like, if I don't do everything I can to help promote this, like, why are we even having it? If you have the opportunity to promote something, you should.
You should.
And it doesn't.
And don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Like, I think so oftentimes people are like, it has to be like the most perfect, the best, the whatever. No, dude. In this day and age, like there's an influx of real influencers, meaning these are the peoples with their messy hair. These are the people with like food in their teeth. People that just rolled out of bed because people want to talk to real people. So even if you're just looking at the camera and you're not camera ready, but you're talking about something passionately, people will come. You know what I mean? And so like that was a learning lesson for me coming out of this year, especially. I'm like, I just like, I have to dedicate that time to it or else no one's going to show up, you know? And so, but yeah, no, it's definitely very sobering when you put a lot of work and energy into these events. And like, I used to be a Tumblr girly. I'm an aesthetic girly. My apartment's very neon. Like, you know, I love to move through the world to let people know exactly who I am. Like, I'm extra. I will go above and beyond because I want you to know that I'm like that in real life too. And so like, I do immersive shows. Like you come in and you're like, even though the space you just walked into is white, you step into this theater where we're having the show, you're in a different world. Especially with Lipstick Lounge too. Like that's at a comedy theater too that is like predominantly white during the daytime, but like at nighttime it's like you stepped into like, oh, I kind of want it to feel like a circus. And so it's really hard to not get discouraged when you like put all this work in and people didn't see it. But like, I think this is what I'm talking. I think you can relate to this. I'm like, if you have footage or pictures of an event, then it does not matter who like showed up and saw it in real life.
Yeah,
it's on your resume. You know what I mean? So like, take the pressure out of yourself and like considering yourself a failure because you didn't get the people there. Like, no, how can you flip this and at least still make it benefit for you in the future? You know what I mean?
That. Yeah.
So, but yeah, like because we had Hispanic heritage shows, and I put my whole pussy into these shows, dude. And like this was at the peak of when ICE was in Chicago.
Yeah.
So nobody was going out. Latinos were not going anywhere. And so like I had this big, beautiful 150-person venue, lights, vendors, todo. Barely anybody could come. And like,
and you still got to perform as if it was packed, right? Like
I
you
have
still
to,
give it 100%.
yeah, because you know what, you still got to put on a show for the people that did show up, because they came out, and you know what I mean. It's really hard to focus on what you don't have, but like, if you can leave these people, letting them know that it's like, yeah, even with this small amount of people, they still put on a banger show. Then imagine what I can do with the full house.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's definitely been a learning lesson, and you know, sometimes you got to check your ego when you're creative, because it's like, what are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Are you doing this so that people give you the compliments, or are you doing this for community? I'm a part of this mentorship cohort, La Collective, shout out, and it's like predominantly Latina and Black and brown women. And there is this speaker, and you know how sometimes you're just like in the right place at the right time, and you just needed to hear something when you're having that type of day.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's like, yeah.
It's just
serendipity.
Right? It is,
like,
exactly. Yeah. And I just was like, you know, I was like, I just come off of like a summer where I had 9 events, like back-to-back months, and we don't got to do that, like, especially not alone. But the speaker, she was talking about leadership, and she asked us all point blank, and she spoke to us like we were her little sister, and I'm an older sister, so I don't ever get talked to like that, so I was eating it up. And she's like, why do you guys lead? She's like, do you lead because you want followers, or do you lead because you have a purpose? And something so simple as that, like, just like realigned me, because I'm in this for the community that we're building, not because I want to like be like, oh my God, that's Kendra, she does this all by herself. Like, I don't want to do this by myself.
Yeah.
I want people to come in and like be lit up about this work that I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting because like your form of creativity is putting on a production, and it kind of, you're dependent on your audience a little, but like the art form itself, like acting and improv, like do you ever want to be like the best actress or like the best improv?
I have just been thinking about this. There was a point in my life where I did, right? Like, I was a part of Second City's Bob Curry Fellowship, which is like, you know, at one point it was ran by NBC, and it was like a diversity scholarship where they put a bunch of BIPOC actors up, and I got an agent. Like, that's what I wanted. And I am still very grateful to be represented by Stewart Talent, but I find so much more passion in production, and like I still scratch my performance itch, you know what I mean? Because like I'm still performing, but I love interviewing and I love hosting, because then like I'm there to drive the car, to remind people that they should laugh, to remind people that they should clap, you know what I mean? Like that same like mentorship thing that I was at, like she had to stand up, and she's like, I need 3 people to stand up and tell me what their identity is. What's your brand? And I remember just like looking around, and nobody wanted to stand up, and I stood up and I blacked out a little bit. I don't necessarily remember what I said, but I said something along the lines of like my goal is to help other people see the potential that they can see in themselves. And I fully feel that. Like, I love like linking up with like, you know, people that are just an idea of something they want to do, and I might not be an expert in everything, but I'm decisive. I could be like, yes, do it, these are your steps, you know what I mean? That
makes all the difference. That's what Rick Rubin gets hired to do, like just to be the person making decisions and being 100% sure. Like, it's not very common these days.
Yeah, it's just like self-expression, you know what I mean? And I have a stand-up bit that's talking about like recession core fashion, because where's the color? It's all black, white, grays, and earth tones. Like, nobody wants to stand out right now. And it makes sense, you know? Like, back in the day when the Great Recession came, like, the skirts got longer because people didn't want to take risks. And it's so interesting when you, like, look at it, you know, through fashion and whatnot. But I love wearing color. Like, and sometimes, like, I don't ever want people to feel that I'm wearing color and be like, ay, mira quien se cree. No. This is just the way I want to express myself.
It comes also from, like, royalty and how peasants or, like, people who were poor would, they wouldn't have the luxury of, like, wearing color. And I think, we need to bring color back.
We need to bring color back just because it's like, like my friend, she can hear colors. You know that something?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Synesthesia? She can hear colors. And she will talk to me about when she sees my designs because they're so colorful. And when I'm like wearing colors, that it's like she can hear it.
Designs as clothing?
No, designs like in my graphic designing.
Oh, okay.
But I did just start like designing some clothes on my girl screen prints.
So you do all your flyers and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do all my flyers. I do all the branding.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I was actually just looking at a post of 2018. My very first poster I did, Dito. It's like, it's cute. Yeah. But like, I want to post about it because I think oftentimes people will see like, you know, your shop and your clothes and be like, how do I get there? Like, you're on your step 20. You know what I mean? Someone's step 2 will never look like our step 20.
Literally. And then all the old stuff that you've posted, like, people haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Or, like, people go on your Instagram, they see maybe, like, your last 6 posts, but they haven't scrolled all the way down. And I'm sure you have a lot of gold in there that you could, like, repurpose.
Share with them.
Yeah.
That's really what I want to kind of focus on this year porque when I wasn't sober, I was like, and I also have like a stand-up bit talking about like I'm a retired toxica. Like you can throw anything at me and I'm never shocked. You know what I mean? And then also too, like you see the way people move and it's just kind of like, mira. And people think I'm younger than I am. Like I'm turning 33 next week. And I think sometimes people think I'm like in my 20s and maybe I'm naive and stuff. But I'm like, no, like I'm polite and I know how to make people feel good, but don't ever take that as like, no sé nada, you know? Yeah. And so when I was drinking, like I was your typical, like, I'd be like posting 7 stories, delete them all in the morning, like vergüenza. Like I was just like cringing myself, you know? And I'm like, when I went sober, I'm like, no one will ever see me like that again. But now I'm on the opposite side where I'm like so polished that now I don't think people can relate to me. And so now I'm kind of like wanting to explore in this upcoming year to make more content along the lines of like, like this is how I got here. Exactly. Because
that's what I was going to bring up. Like being an actor, where do you draw that line? Like what is the real Kendra and like what is your performance? Because even with entrepreneurs and a lot of people who are in hospitality, they say that they put on a character.
A customer. A customer voice. I was actually just talking about the customer voice 2 days ago because my mentor, she's a Sag, and she's incredible. Ashley, I love you so much. One of the things that stood out to me about her is that she doesn't have a customer service voice. And I don't think I have one either. Like, even when I was serving at Soho House, like, I would tell all my friends this, I'm like, if a table made a bad joke at me, I'm not laughing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here giving free laughs. Like, you got to earn this laugh. And so I think, like, one of the things that I ground myself in is that when I meet you at my party, like I'm not just someone you see online. Like I'm meeting you. Like I want to talk to you, and I never go like, "Hi, I'm Kendra." I'm not like, no, that's just who I am. Online, I feel like I'm very like, you know, I want to like show the power in it isn't being like a strong and like fashionable woman. You know what I mean? Porque sometimes it feels like you got to pick. Like, oh, you're like a businesswoman, okay, then, but you're also pretty, then sure. Like, my mentor was talking about this with me too. That it's like, I am so like every time I see a strong businesswoman, fashionable, gorgeous, I'm like, I see you. Awesome. I see you porque you're not. If that's the way you want to move through the world, go for it. Who am I to tell you that like you got to conform? And so I am big and bold because I want other people to be big and bold. Yeah. Like even if you come to my party and like one of the lipstick lounges, because we have like these, you know, crazy themes, even if you dress normally in jeans and a white shirt, but you come to a goth party and you like wear some goth shit and then you decide you like a little bit of goth, I did my job. you're in a space where like you're at least trying something. Porque if you're going to the store and doing fast fashion, the decisions are made for you. You're not making any of your own decisions. Like true fashion and styling is like taking something you have and like warping it to like your personality and your energy.
Yeah, you definitely do that. I love seeing your outfits of the days, and like
Thank
you
you.
always have like. So yeah, I'm always like, you got a fan in me because I'm. Yeah, I like how you experiment with like. I think you wear a lot of like cheetah or leopard.
Oh, I'm a cheetah girl, honey. Yeah. Cheetah girl.
Do you remember when you first started taking like clothing serious?
Yeah, yes, I do. It was like 2019, right before the pandemic, because I was like also, sober curious at that time. I was losing some weight because, when you're drinking, you're eating late at night, you're fucking, eating burgers and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, and I was gaining a lot of weight and stuff. And I just remember like taking care of myself. And something like clicked for me. I'm like, I love clothes. Why am I waiting on special occasions to wear this? Like, I only have like 4 or 5 special occasions out the year and I got like 50 pairs of clothes, like those odds are not in my favor.
Yeah.
And so then every day I would just start dressing, like ranch, dressing.
It's so true because you got so many fits that you're trying to save for like Christmas or like the holidays.
Yes.
Just wear them today.
That's the cool part about thrifting. That's why I always tell people to thrift, because it's like when you thrift something for $3, cut it up. Cut it up, make it look crazy, because it's just $3 and you're never going to be able to do this with like, and also they are not making clothes like that anymore. Like the quality of clothes will never be like that again.
Oh, it might with me.
Okay,
like
fine.
Me and my friends.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely encourage thrifting. But acting itself, sorry, I wanted to take it back with like what made you want to be an actor, or what made you?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, have you ever seen the movie Get Rich or Die Trying?
Of course.
No, it's not that.
It's so good.
No, it is good. It's good. No, but actually, it's The Mask. Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love Jim Carrey. I have a Jim Carrey book and everything. I just watched Bruce Almighty.
Oh, okay. I remember my dad taking me to the movies, and I saw The Mask, and I was just like, me cambió la vida. I was like, I looked at him and I was like, this is a job? And he's like, yeah, you could do this. Cool. And like, I've never seen something like that. And so, from then on in, I just was like obsessed with now watching movies from the lens of like, oh my God, like this is someone acting this way, and then my infatuation was with Saturday Night Live. And like, I was in high school, I was like wearing glittery outfits on my birthday, walking around with the big balloons, making a big spectacle. And I remember on my freshman year of my birthday, we had like this speaker come in and talk to us, and she's like, who knows what they want to do when they want to grow up? And of course, doctors, lawyers. And I was like, I'm going to be on Saturday Night Live. And they're like, oh, wow. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want. And that's just everything that I've, always wanted. But I was just talking to my friend about this, that it's like, there was a point, I told you I went to Dominican, that didn't work. I ended up at Triton. That was okay.
I went to Triton too.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't finish. I have my associates.
I got my associates too.
Okay, and look at us now, period. Associates plug. I remember like I was almost gonna go to the Illinois School for Broadcasting, like for radio and stuff, because I really love that.
Yeah.
And my mommy was like, okay, but if you do this, like this is the last thing we can help you on. And I got paralyzed with fear. I'm like, what if I'm making the wrong decision? What if I can't go back? And then I never went, and I just didn't make a decision.
Because they didn't believe in you? Or?
No, because I was afraid of making the wrong decision. Hearing the stakes be like, okay, you have no safety net. Like, instead of just jumping, I was like, I don't know if that's where I'm supposed to be. So then I ended up just working a bunch.
Yeah.
I worked a lot. And so, like I said, I've always had 2 jobs. Like, I've always worked. I've been working since I was like 14. And so, yeah. And then I, went to college and stuff. And I told myself, I was like in a really dark place, porque I can tell I'm not doing well mentally if I'm talking about something more than doing it. Because now I'm like telling stories to people about doing it, but I'm not doing it. And I felt like an imposter.
Yeah.
And so I actually have a really funny intro to comedy story. So I was dating this guy, and we broke up, and he was a plug. And so we broke up. He left all of his plug money at my place, and I used it to buy an improv class. And I never looked back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he never went looking for you?
I mean, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Me lo debía, whatever. And it's so funny because he sometimes is like, oh yeah, like I helped her get her start in comedy. I was like, no, I could have bought shoes with that shit. So, but I took a comedy class, and then the very first comedy class I took, my teacher, he was starting his own show at the end of my class, and so he put me on the show.
Wow.
And so then I just, through experience, like
Yeah.
I feel like that's been my life. Like I'm a street smart person, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, no, now I want to take some classes. Like I feel like that's what's gonna get me to the next level, is like to like just learn some courses about business.
Like some actual, business
no, like
classes.
about business and stuff,
Okay.
about like management, and
Yeah.
and I think like I have good instincts, but like if I don't, like there's already like systems in place to make things easier, right?
Right.
And I feel like I don't got anything to prove. Like I want to make my
I
life
love that.
easier,
That's
you know?
I feel like we're very similar in like, I hated school. I didn't want to go to like college. I thought I was gonna be like a crazy artist and designer right off of like high school,
Talent.
and that didn't work. Yeah, and then now I find myself like I got the scholarship to do like a streetwear program.
Right now?
Yeah, for
Oh,
Parsons.
congrats.
It's like a Parsons times Complex Con thing.
Whoa.
And it's so funny. Like I never thought that I would try to go back to school, but it's the exact same thing. There are systems in place. Like why not? And then it gives you like leverage, right? Or it gives
Yeah.
you like a certificate. That,
You said Complex and Parsons?
yeah, Parsons like the school. in New
Wow.
York. It's
The
just-
design school.
Yeah, but I think anybody could apply. I think it's just not that known, or like I
Yeah.
don't know. I got the ad and then I applied. And
Well, I think also too, when you go to school when you're older, you know what you're there for.
Right.
You're not just going through the motions of like having to get a degree or XYZ. Like you're like, I'm spending money and time on this. Like let me make the most out of it. I think that's what I think was wrong with the educational system.
Yeah.
You're like sending all these kids. No one's learning trades anymore. Like you're just
it should be mandatory to take a break between
Yeah,
like, high school and college. for sure.
exactly.
And then I would always look at the older like people that went to college and be like, "Why are you trying so hard?" Like, and then-
That's another thing. People do not like to try hard.
Yeah.
They're like, oh God, like, and you know what? We'll take it
Now
to a
it's
little
okay.
micro level. That's what happens on the dance floors now at clubs. No one's dancing.
no one's dancing.
No one's dancing. No one's dancing because they don't want to look dumb. They don't want to look like they're sweating. And like people, it's like the same thing with YouTubers. People would rather watch people play video games than play video games themselves. People want to watch people open gifts instead of open gifts
You're speaking
themselves.
to my son right now. I feel like.
Te quiero tanto, no te conozco, but like you got this. But I think it's like that's what I'm really attracted to. Like whether you're an artist or creative, whatever. Like if I see you doing stuff, like that's
do
why
it.
I have a respect for content creators. It's not what they're talking about. It's the fact that every day they're posting, and I know how much time and effort goes into that, and so like they deserve flowers.
You edit your own videos too?
I
Like,
do.
Damn.
Dude, I'm wearing 7 hats.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I'm closing out this year. Like I said, I want to take some courses. That's the way I'm going to get to the next level. And delegation, I need a team now.
Same.
Like
Yeah.
I don't have I don't need to do everything myself. Like it's just because I was also reading this article, and I'm sure you can relate. Like burnout is like clinical, you know. Like, and I think I was only under the impression of like burnout like physically and burnout mentally, but there's also like burnout emotionally. Like when you're so like compassionate and like wanting to make sure that this person's good and that person's good and how can we uplift this and how can we provide opportunities here, that sometimes it all comes crashing, and then I feel immense shame because I'm like, I don't give a shit about anything right now. Like I don't care. Like I'm like, damn, like is this who I am now? And I feel like almost as if like I'm corrupt in myself, and I'm just like really grateful. I had a tarot reading, Dream with Celine. She's a tarot reader at Lipstick Lounge, and she was just talking about, she was reading me, and she's like, oh girl, you're doing too much. She's like, do you feel shame for this, exactly what I just said? And I'm like, yeah, how do you know? And she's like, that's just because you're burnt out that way. Like, and I kind of was under the impression that I was an endless well of compassion. I was like, I got enough. I'm big, I'm bright, I can give it
I
to
do like
anywhere.
thinking that way though, like
Me
abundance,
too.
but you think there's a limit?
For the first time in my life,
Okay.
I have hit the bottom of the well, and it really took me aback. But I'm grateful to have perspective because now I know it's an effect of something and not like a new mentality I have.
Yeah.
I can treat it if I take care of myself better, and this isn't the way that my life is always going to go. Because I've been very cynical in my life, you know, and I think that that's what I really guard in my sobriety. But like, I have clarity. Like, the further away I get from connecting with people, the further my work means to me. If I'm just here turning and burning parties, I don't care. But if I'm having conversation with people, I'm having that conversation with like, hey, I really needed to be here. Or like, hey, I just made a new friend. Or like, hey, do you mind if I work the next one? Yes.
That makes all the difference.
Yes.
I noticed that too with like the open mic or just pop-ups, like people getting to showcase themselves, and then they pull you aside at the end of the day and they're like, thank you. It's nice.
What was like a story that touched you the most of like a opportunity you provided?
I've told this before, but like I've had people meet at some of my like art shows and pop-ups, and like they end up dating, they end up like getting married. So it's really cool. Like my events could bring people together, and you always forget about that, and then I
was also reading this article on burnout that was talking about like you did not start a business to do like to send emails all day. That's not what we're business starters for. You know, like I think coming out of this year, I'm realizing I'm an ideas person. Like I get really drawn to like seeing something, building it, and then I'm like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Like, and so I want to. Period.
I think it's okay. You just like.
Okay.
You want to what?
The other shoe dropped. I want to eventually like get to a place where I have a team in place where like we'll build something and they can sustain it, because I want to go and build other shit. Like that's what calls me, that I could like some that has never been made before. Let me make it, not the making it, sustaining it, the keeping it, the evolving it. Like I would love to evolve things, but like I was talking to this one of the directors that I had this year, and at the beginning of our interaction, she was like, I want you to get to a place where like you're able to build something and then
like
sell it. And I said, I don't think I'll ever be like that. I'm like, never, like, I think that's wonderful for you, but I would never do that. And now coming out of this year, I said, damn, you're so fucking right.
Yeah.
You're so right, because it's like, I have so many things that I want to do right now, but my plate is full, over capacity.
If you had to sell one Escandalo lipstick lounge or Chisme, which one would it be?
I think I would sell Chisme. Yeah. I think...
Your partner's not going to get mad?
Huh?
Your partner's not going to get mad?
Spencer, I love you. No, I think... I don't think there's any shame in realizing that maybe something has served the purpose that it needed to in your life.
That's cool.
You know, I think that it healed me, because like I always say I'm like a preteen gay right now, because I came out and had like a partner maybe like about 5 years ago, and it is a learning curve, honey. Like like here you are thinking you're brave, you did it or whatever, and then you're told that you're not doing it right by the queer community, and it made me feel a lot of shame.
Right.
And so like starting Chisme, I got to stand in my power and be like, no, I'm a queer woman. And everyone's like, yeah, you're queer. And so it, like I said, it did its job. I feel immensely validated and forever
It's almost like being Hispanic too. I feel like
that's what Escandalo did for me. Literally. They're all extensions of like sense. The journey that I've been on.
The only difference is like, I feel like I name my companies or products after me, so I don't know how I could sell like Pob's prints because my name is literally in it. So I always
just sell it to another Pablo.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. That makes sense.
Rudy Mendoza from Bilingual Improv School, he started a Facebook group would be like with everybody named Rudy Mendoza ever. So he has like tens of thousands of followers in there. I know. So technically you can find him.
I always see like I don't know if it was Chris Pratt or Ryan Reynolds. They had like when Deadpool was coming out, people also named Ryan Reynolds. They would all link together and like they had like groups and they would meet other like it was that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like a Ryan Reynolds meetup.
Yeah.
A little R&R.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, they're all extensions of me, the brands. But on the flip side, there's cons that come with that too.
Definitely, yeah.
Because when changes happen to the brands, I took that personal. But that's the evolution of it, right? That's when you have other collaborators and people in the room with you. Like, of course it's gonna change. And having to like process that, like why did I get such a big reaction out of me, like led me to believe that my identity was so wrapped up into these that I felt like if something happened to those, that I was failing.
Oh.
And that's not the case.
That's so good.
This is what we do. This is what we're building. This is not who we are. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Kendra outside of Dama Productions. If Dama Productions ended tomorrow, I would still be Kendra.
Yeah.
And have immense potential. But like for a really long time, I think that's why I was overworking myself, because I'm like if I'm not working hard, then I'm nothing. And that's obviously, of course, like capitalism and todo eso. But I think in terms of like longevity and sustainability for us, it's like imperative to have mental health check-ins with ourselves like this, like to the point where like we could expense it, because without that, our companies are lasting 2 years tops.
That's facts. Yeah.
You know?
With moving into 2026, how do you ask for help, I guess?
How do I ask for help? So it's been with Lipstick Lounge, it's been really cool because, you know, that party, we're looking at 300 women every party. And the space is huge, so there's always enough people for everybody. But I've been like really turning to the community and being like looking for volunteers here. And like it's an overflow of people that are just willing to help. I think it's just people just need to know that you need help.
Just posting about it?
I'm just posting about it, TBH. But I also am really grateful because Escandalo is literally like all of my best friends. And so on days where I'm just like, and I'm a golden retriever. Yeah. I'm big, bright, laughing. So on days when I'm feeling like, but I also, like you said, comedians experience extreme depths. Like I could burn it all down tomorrow if it's like that, you know, serious, you know? And so I'm really grateful that I have a community. And I think like I oftentimes ground myself in this, like some people will go their whole lives without ever knowing what community feels like. You know what I mean? Like you provide this space for people, and like some people will also never even know that.
Yeah.
And I think that like, I don't know if you've ever, I'm sure you have, but it's like there comes a point in your life when you realize like, not necessarily like what your purpose is, but what your gift is. Like, what are you naturally drawn to? I'm a connector. It's really effortless for me to be like, oh my God, you're looking for this? Have you met this person? Or you guys should work here. Like, I love to do that. Like, I love to put people onto opportunities. That's why I'm always posting like job postings and listings, y no sé qué. But yeah, I think that like, that's what I'm based in. Eso me salvó la vida.
Yeah. Like,
my life changed 180 from when I was drinking to now. All of my friends gone. Like, brand new friends. Like, friends that I've had, but like brand new circles.
Yeah.
And like, if I didn't have that, I honestly, like, it would just be me, myself, and I with my dark thoughts. Yeah. My dark, twisted fantasy. Do you have a community? Do you have a solid community?
I feel like I do, especially now having a shop. I feel like I've been able to cultivate better events and like more intentional events, because I don't want like just anybody renting it out. Like I want it to align with the store and what we're like making. I always try to like collaborate in some way. I make all my flyers too. Yeah. But I don't know. I think sometimes I feel like if you, I spoke about this with Esteban, like if you give too much to your community, you're kind of left like with not enough for yourself. And absolutely. I just don't want to feel like that. I feel like it's like
you're like depleted.
Yeah. Or like am I bad for wanting stuff for myself? You know?
Yo, creatives deal with that too. And I'm also kind of like drawn to a quote that was like, giving with no boundaries is self-harm. You know, I think about that a lot too. And what resonated me about what you said is like creatives and money. You know what I mean? Especially like the theater world. They're like, oh, you're charging for that, or you're trying to make money off of this. Like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, I need to live. Like, yeah. I can only continue to do this if I am paying for frivolous things like my rent, food, and insurance. Facts. You know, and it's like, I think like I'm very much at that point now too, where it's like, for example, Lipstick Lounge, like, you know, it's a big ass venue. I provide 2 rooms of music, the only place in Boys Town for girls to dance cumbia. We have a tattoo parlor, haircut services. We have tarot readers. We have drag performers, late night kitchen. We have like everything. And so like I'm charging like at least $10 for this. But I also on the flip side, I'm always giving out $5 codes, $10 codes. I even brought some of these cards because I designed them. They say, I like your vibe. And I love giving them out to people on the street. And it's like a compliment card. But then on the back, it says 1 free entrance to the next party. And so like, it very much aligns with my brand because it's like, I'm always giving like every time I have a pre-shift with my staff that night, I'm like, listen guys, you are the first people are seeing. compliment everybody. Make people feel good. Because I'm a big believer and people are going to remember how you make them feel. Even if, forget your words. If you're being shady to someone, they're going to clock you.
I forgot the comedian, but he spoke about how everybody is just another version of yourself and how you should like compliment as much as you can.
Exactly.
Like,
why are we gatekeeping? Why are we gatekeeping? Like, I post about this all the time on my Instagram. I'm like, go post on 3 people's stories. Go tell people three people good job. Like, it's not, and we say this at Escandalo all the time too. Like, the musicians and the performers we have on Escandalo are like immensely talented. And that's also a favorite part of what I do is booking. Like, a lot of these shows out here are booking the same 5-6 people because y'all are not looking. Like, there is work that needs to be done. Sometimes I'm cold emailing people. I cold message you. I was like, hey, Pops, if you're looking for anybody, because why not? And so, like, every time there are performers on Escandalo, I said, all right, y'all, like, of course we have our Bad Bunnies. Of course we have our Karol Gs. But imagine if you gave this performer just like an ounce of what you gave Bad Bunny. That like, that share, that follow, free. You're not doing shit. You're just literally at your house. Why do you care so much about, like, your... And I also agree, like you know, not everything's going to land on my grid. But, like, it is free to share. And I also understand that, like, we are being, like, blown up with shit. Like, that's why tangible products are doing so well right now. Because, like, you know, anything on the web, oh my God, the web, I'm a boomer. anything on the interweb is gone within a matter of, like, 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're talking about. People are only looking at 6 posters. Whole time I got, like, 60.
Do you make merch?
Yeah. Okay. I just started.
Nice.
So I have a Shopify store, and then I also have been working with Becca Sierra, who's Evil Genius on Instagram, and she's been screen printing, and she's just getting started too. And so we screen printed a bunch of like lipstick lounge sleeve. I was gonna wear one today, but too fresca, it's too cold for that. But it's been really cool that we're just like and I run a vendor shop, so I'm just using all of the clothes that I already have, so it's sustainable. Like I'm not going out, so everything that you're buying from the shop has been curated by me. And so it feels sick.
Your Shopify is other people's products?
Shopify is what I made.
Okay.
Yeah, Shopify is so as of right now we just have like totes and bags and stuff because I
haven't
had
that much time. You run a vendor shop?
At Lipstick Lounge.
Oh, in real person.
Se llama Buena
in real
Suerte.
Life.
Yeah. Se llama Buena Suerte. I have Buena Suerte tattooed on me. And I printed out some labels. I got them made, and it says, "This is made by Kendra Jamaica, and te deseo buena suerte." Wow. So every time you have a piece of something that I have, te mando buena suerte.
Yeah, I love
and
it.
It's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, go above and beyond. And this world where people are not even finishing all the way through, like, how are you standing out? And I think it's like to make people feel good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can you shout out your Instagram and maybe like shows you have coming up?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Kenny from the Block, Kenny with an I until I get that girl's Kenny's. And you can follow me on Dama Productions at Instagram también. Same thing on YouTube and on TikTok. And for this month, it's my birthday month, so I'm very excited. We have the last Escandalo show of the year, which is going to be this upcoming Saturday. We are also debuting Chicago's only Spanglish Open Jam. So like if you're an improviser or performer or just want to see what improv is about, come to the jam. You don't even got to perform. You could just kind of see what's going on there, but it's open to anybody. And then I am producing Baby Wines, which is The Annoyance, where I do Lipstick Lounge. It's their house queer variety show, but it's going to be a sapphic night, so it's going to be a banging baddie lineup.
You made me look up what sapphic means.
Okay, let me talk about it real quick. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know what sapphic means it's a general umbrella term for women having attraction to other women. So that means that it transcends who you're in a relationship with. So like, let's say I'm pan, so I'm pansexual, which means that I'm attracted to like trans folk, queer folk. Anybody can get it, really. And that means that regardless of the partner that I'm with, so I could be with a man and still be sapphic because I'm attracted to women, right? And so sapphic started from the word Sappho, which is a Greek poet, and she wrote a lot of love poetry about women. And so she was from the island of Lesbos, which is it's spelled Lesbos, and from Greece. And so sapphic is used in that,
The more you know.
So there's a lot of sapphic parties. So anytime you see sapphic anywhere, that means that the bitches here love other bitches. So I just like I really hold a lot of space for that because unfortunately, like bi women, pan women get a lot of hate from lesbians. And like, again, I've had a lot of that where I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm standing 10 toes down. Yeah. Like I'm not just one or the other. And I don't think I need to be to get you to like me. And so I hold a lot of space for bi women. My baby gays, I see you. If you're dating a man and you're queer and you feel it, I see you. Sorry, I had to talk to the girls real quick. But yeah. And then closing out the year, we have Lipstick Lounge.
Yeah, I don't know if this will come out in time, but if you have anything like January, February, or you haven't thought that far.
In the new year, you can just keep up with us on Dama Productions at Instagram. Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll try to make some clips for you.
You got it.
But thank you so much. Yeah. I learned a lot, and you're very polished. You already know, like, it's very inspiring, and I want to get better at speaking. So maybe I'll take
Come to an improv class. Yeah. Hey, okay, hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
My name is Pablo Trees, Pobs Prince, PabloLea.com. Follow us, PSA Chicago. We're open 12 to 5 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. Yeah. Thank you, Jonah.
Thank you.